we talked about passing and serve receive in practice, and you guys are going to work on that. So do you think it was better tonight?
Yeah, I do. And to me, the most important thing was we did get into trouble at times, and yet we were able to turn it around. And that's, I think, a significant step. So, yeah, I was very happy with that. Were we perfect? No. But we were better. Were we better? Yes.
And then, Catherine, from a hitting perspective, did the better serve receive and the better passing help the hitters do a better job as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it makes it a lot easier for the setter to have more options and just to hold the block better. But, I mean, Palmy was doing a great job of just picking when to set where. And, I mean, if you look, 4 of our hitters were in double digits, which is just great, which makes my life a lot easier.
Of course. And then, Hugh, the first set obviously was a pretty good win, but the second set was a little bit closer, and then you guys ended up dropping the third set. So what was the difference between like those first 2 sets and then the third set then?
They played a little bit better. I think you should give them some credit in that. And we got into a pretty good-sized hole in the third, and I thought, to our athletes' credit, we're able to get close to winning it. You know, I mean, a point here or there in the 20s, and we might have had a different result. But again, I think it's important that we find ways to get out of trouble. So even though we dropped that third, I thought our approach to the fourth set in terms of our emotional investment and the way we were playing the game was right on. So it was good to win the fourth, and I think ultimately it's learning to manage adversity, because as you get further down the season, and certainly if we're fortunate enough to get into the NCAA tournament and go deep into that, it's getting into some tough situations and getting out of them. And of course, tonight was a good example of
that. And then Alexander, I know in that second set, when you guys, I think at most there was a 6-point deficit, and it was your serving run that got the Gophers back to a tie score, I think, and even a 1-point lead at one point in time. So how do you stay focused when you're the one serving and you guys are on that long run, and how do you make sure that everything stays the way it is?
Just really following the scouting report. We know who our targets were, and it was my job. That was my first line of attack for our team, and to help us get back into it, and just getting the ball in the court to the right person. That's all I could do from there, and that was my main focus.
And talking a little bit about serving, Catherine, I think this was a new serve for you, wasn't it? Because I feel like I've never seen that before.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we always look at ways to, just try to do things differently, and started jump serving, and I decided I really like it, and I'm going to stick with it.
Was that something that you've been working on throughout the season, or was it this practice this week that you guys did?
Just sort of started doing it just to try something new, a little bit around the Penn State game, and just decided to bring it up tonight.
Well, you got 3 aces, so did you expect for it to pay off that well in your first match using it?
My whole focus was just to keep relaxed while doing it and just get it in and kind of just make sure that I was focused through that, just to make sure my team had me good on that before I did anything else, and the aces just happened to be an added benefit.
Yeah, of course. And then Alexander, I think you had 2 aces that ended the first set, actually, so I think the whole team had quite a few aces. So is that kind of, what do you attribute that to, that your aces and as well as all the teams?
Just a really strong focus and practice on our serve and pass game. That's the most important aspect of the game, and it's something that he's really taught us that we need to focus on, and we did a really good job executing that tonight all across the board.
Yeah, of course. And then, Hugh, did you specifically decide to substitute out Whitman for serving? Because I think you started bringing in Carly Hauer towards the end of the game.
Yeah, we thought they were getting into a pretty good rhythm with the spin serve, and so we like Carly's float. She's scored us a lot of points before, so we just wanted to change up the rhythm of it and see what that did. And fortunately, it paid off. She served some good serves in the court, got us a couple of nice strings to help us win the match.
Yeah, of course. And then, Catherine, I think one of the refs calls, it was a reaching on Whitman once, and you were kind of shaking your head about it. Were you okay with the officiating tonight, or was it just that one call? Or?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we can't expect calls to go our way, and we can't expect, anyone to be perfect in any situation, but the refs did a great job, and, I mean, one call is not going to be the